Stop scrolling. Right now, what I'm about to share with you could save your life, or the life of someone sitting right next to you on this couch. Because every 40 seconds, somewhere on this planet, a person collapses from a stroke. One moment they're laughing, the next, they can't even say their own name. But here's the terrifying part nobody talks about. In nearly 80% of those cases, the body was screaming warning signs. For hours, for days, sometimes for weeks before the attack hit, and they ignored them. Not because they were careless, not because they were uneducated, but because nobody, not their doctor, not their family, not even the internet, ever told them what to actually look for. My name is Dr. and I've spent over 2 decades as a neurologist. I've stood in emergency rooms holding the cold hands of patients slipping away. I've broken the news to wives, husbands, and children that the person they love is never coming back. And every single time, the same tragic words echo in that hospital corridor. Doctor, I felt something strange a few days ago, but I thought it was nothing. That one sentence, it's probably nothing, is the single biggest silent killer in modern medicine. More dangerous than smoking. More dangerous than cholesterol. More dangerous than the number on your blood pressure cuff. Because a stroke does not strike out of nowhere. It whispers first. It taps you on the shoulder. It gives you warning after warning, until finally it stops asking permission and takes everything you love. Let me tell you something most doctors will never admit on camera. A 42-year-old father, healthy, fit, full of life, dropped while playing football with his son in the backyard. A grandmother who just wanted to see her grandchildren graduate, gone before dinner. A 28-year-old woman, vegan, marathon runner, picture of health, collapsed in her own kitchen. All of them had warnings. All of them brushed them off, and all of them are gone. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most commonly ignored warning signs of stroke. The signals your body is begging you to listen to. The clues most family doctors won't even mention in a quick 10-minute checkup because they assume you already know. But you don't. Most people don't. And number 1 on this list? Number 1 is something millions of people experience every single year. They blame it on stress, on a bad night's sleep, on the weather, on getting older. But it's actually your brain firing off a final desperate SOS. One last cry for help before the lights go out forever. When I reveal it, I promise you, you will never look at a small symptom the same way again. You'll start noticing things in your parents, in your spouse, in your best friend, maybe even in yourself. But before we get to number 1, you need to hear about number 5. Because this one, I guarantee, you've already experienced in your life. And like everyone else, you laughed it off. So sit back. Don't blink. Don't skip a single second. Let's begin. Warning sign number 5, the hiccup that won't stop. Hiccups. We've all had them. We laugh. We hold our breath. We drink water upside down. We move on. But what if I told you that a hiccup, yes, a simple, harmless hiccup, could be your brain's first scream for help? Especially if you are a woman. Here's the science, made simple. Your hiccups are controlled by a tiny region deep inside your brainstem, the part of your brain that keeps you alive while you sleep. It controls your breathing, your heartbeat, your diaphragm. And when blood flow to this critical area gets cut off, even slightly, the diaphragm starts to spasm uncontrollably. The result? Hiccups that won't stop. Hiccups with no reason. Hiccups for hours, sometimes for days. And research from the American Heart Association has revealed something chilling. Women are far more likely to experience this strange stroke symptom than men, yet doctors almost never check for it. Let me tell you about Maria. Maria was 47, a school teacher, a mother of 3. One Sunday afternoon, she started hiccuping while folding laundry. She laughed it off. By Monday morning, she was still hiccuping. Her husband joked, "Maybe you swallowed too much air." By Tuesday evening, Maria couldn't lift her left arm. By Wednesday morning, she was in a coma. The scan showed a stroke in her brainstem. The hiccups were her body's last polite knock on the door. Your action step is simple. If you experience hiccups that last longer than 2 hours with no clear reason, no spicy food, no carbonated drinks, no stress, and especially if you're a woman, do not wait. Get to an emergency room immediately. Tell them, "I want a stroke screening." Those 5 words could save your life. Now, if hiccups caught you by surprise, wait until you hear number 4. Because this next one, you've probably already experienced this month. Warning sign number 4, the exhaustion you can't explain. Be honest with me. When was the last time you felt so tired, so heavy, that you sat down on the couch and couldn't get back up? We blame it on work, on the kids, on bad sleep, on getting older. But what if that tiredness isn't tiredness at all, but your brain literally suffocating. Here's the science. When the tiny arteries in your brain begin to narrow, long before a full stroke hits, your brain stops getting the oxygen it needs. To survive, it goes into emergency mode. It slows everything down. Your thinking, your reactions, your energy. You don't feel sick. You don't feel pain. You just feel drained, heavy, foggy, like the battery of your soul is at 5%. And most people, they take a nap. They drink coffee. They power through. I'll never forget Robert, 58 years old, a truck driver, strong as an ox. He came to his wife on a Friday and said, "Honey, I don't know what's wrong with me. I slept 10 hours, took 2 naps, and I still feel like I haven't slept in a week." His wife told him to rest, to take it easy. That Sunday morning, Robert never woke up. The autopsy showed it, a massive stroke that had been brewing for 5 full days. Your action step. If you experience sudden, unexplained crushing fatigue that doesn't match your day, your workload, or your sleep, combined with any other strange symptom like blurred vision, slurred words, or tingling, do not sleep it off. Go to the ER. Demand a brain scan, because there's a difference between being tired and your brain shutting down. But here's the thing. Numbers 5 and 4 are just the warm-up. Number 3 is where this gets terrifying, because what I'm about to tell you next happens silently in front of the mirror every single morning, and 9 out of 10 people miss it. Warning sign number 3, the face in the mirror that isn't yours. I want you to do something right now. Open your phone camera, flip it to selfie mode, smile. Look closely. Are both sides of your face perfectly even? Or does one corner of your mouth sit just a little lower than the other? Does one eyelid droop just slightly? Does one cheek look just a little heavier? Most people will say, "That's just how my face is." But what if it's not? A study published in the journal Stroke, one of the most respected medical journals in the world, revealed something chilling. Researchers found that in up to 65% of stroke patients, subtle facial asymmetry appeared hours, sometimes days, before the major attack. Not full paralysis, not obvious drooping, just a tiny shift, a whisper of difference. And here is the part that haunts me as a neurologist. The patient almost never notices it, but the people in the photographs do. Here's the science, plain and simple. Your face is controlled by the facial nerve, which gets its signal from your brain through tiny blood vessels. When one of those vessels starts to clog, even partially, the muscles on that side of your face begin to weaken. Slowly, quietly, without pain. You don't feel it. You don't see it. But the camera does. I'll never forget Linda, 61 years old, the grandmother of the family. At her granddaughter's wedding, someone took a beautiful photo of her smiling. Her daughter looked at the picture later that night and frowned. "Mom, why does your smile look crooked?" Linda laughed. "Maybe I had too much wine." 3 days later, Linda had a massive stroke. She survived, but she'll never walk again. She'll never lift her granddaughter again. She'll never write a Christmas card again. That wedding photo? It was sitting on her dresser, begging to be seen. Your action step. Look at recent photos of yourself, photos of your parents, your spouse. Compare them to photos from a year ago. If one side of the face is now sagging, drooping, or pulling differently, even slightly, do not wait. Get a brain scan. Tell the doctor, "I have new facial asymmetry. I want stroke imaging." That sentence has saved lives in my own clinic. But wait, because what's coming at number 2 is even more terrifying. Because this next sign happens in complete silence and lasts less than 60 seconds. Warning sign number 2, the curtain that falls over your eye. Imagine you're reading a book, or driving home from work, or watching TV with your family, and suddenly, a gray curtain begins to slide down over one of your eyes. You can still see out of the other one, so you blink, you rub it, you shake your head, and in about 30 seconds, maybe a minute, the curtain lifts. Your vision is back, crystal clear. You think, "Weird, must have been tired," and you go on with your day. Doctor, what just happened is one of the most dangerous warning signs in all of medicine. It has a name. It's called amaurosis fugax, Latin for fleeting darkness. And here is the brutal statistic that will keep you up tonight. According to research from Harvard Medical School, 1 in 3 people who experience this temporary vision loss will have a major stroke within 90 days, some within 48 hours. Here's why. The same artery that pumps blood to your brain, the carotid artery in your neck, also pumps blood to the retina in your eye. When a tiny clot breaks off and floats up that artery, it briefly blocks blood to the eye. The clot then dissolves and floats deeper, toward the brain. That curtain you saw? That was a dress rehearsal for the real stroke, I had a patient named David, 54, an accountant, sharp as a knife. He told his wife, "My eye went dark for a minute today. Felt funny?" She told him to see a doctor. He said he would on Monday. He didn't make it to Monday. Your action step. If your vision ever goes black, gray, or blurry in one eye, even for 5 seconds, drop everything. Call an ambulance. Not your doctor, not tomorrow, now, because your brain is loading the gun. But number one is when your brain pulls the trigger and then pretends nothing happened. Warning sign number 1, the stroke that goes away and returns to kill you. I need you to pay attention now more than ever, because what I'm about to tell you is the single most dangerous medical mistake human beings make. It has killed millions. It will kill millions more. And it's killing someone somewhere in the world. At this exact moment you are watching this video. It's called a transient ischemic attack, a TIA, but you've probably heard it by another name, the mini-stroke. And here is why it is the deadliest warning sign on this entire list. A mini-stroke is when a clot temporarily blocks blood flow to your brain for 5 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a few hours. Your face droops, your arm goes numb, your words slur, the room spins, you can't think straight. And then it stops. The clot dissolves. The blood rushes back in. The numbness fades. The drooping disappears. The slurred speech becomes crystal clear again. You feel normal. You feel better. You feel relieved. And that, my friend, is the most lethal feeling in human medicine. Because here's the science that almost no one explains correctly. A mini-stroke is not a near miss. It is not your body fighting it off. It is not a false alarm. It is your brain showing you, in rehearsal form, exactly what is about to happen to you for real. The clot that just dissolved? It came from somewhere. A narrowed artery in your neck. A diseased valve in your heart. A vessel filling with plaque deep in your skull. That source is still there. That source is still loading. That source is still firing. And according to data from the National Stroke Association, listen to this carefully, 1 in 3 people who experience a mini-stroke will have a massive, life-destroying stroke within the next 90 days. Almost half of those will happen within just 48 hours. Some within 2 hours. 2 hours. You will feel fine, smile at your family, eat dinner, go to bed, and never wake up. Let me tell you about Ahmed. Ahmed was 52, a businessman, a father of 4. One Thursday afternoon, he was in his office when his right hand suddenly went numb. He couldn't grip his pen. His face felt strange in the mirror. He sat down for 15 minutes, and then everything came back. The strength, the feeling, the smile. His secretary begged him to go to the hospital. He laughed. "I'm fine. It was probably just stress. I'll see a doctor next week." That night, he had dinner with his wife. He kissed his kids goodnight. He told his youngest daughter, 6 years old, that he'd take her to the park on Saturday. At 3 a.m., his wife woke up to a strange gurgling sound next to her. Ahmed never made it to Saturday. He never made it to the park. He never spoke another word. And the worst part, the part that breaks me to my core every time I tell this story, is that if Ahmed had gone to the ER that Thursday afternoon, when his hand went numb for 15 minutes, his stroke could have been 80% preventable. 80%. With 1 pill, 1 scan, 1 injection. Your action step is non-negotiable. If you, or anyone around you, experiences any of these symptoms, even for 1 minute, and then feels completely fine afterward, you have entered the 48-hour death window. Numbness on one side, slurred speech, drooping face, sudden confusion, vision loss in one eye, loss of balance, even if it lasts 30 seconds. Even if you feel perfect now, even if you're embarrassed, call an ambulance, not Uber, not a taxi. An ambulance, because they can begin treatment in transit. Say these exact words. "I think I had a mini-stroke. I need a TIA workup immediately." Those 11 words have saved more lives in my career than any medication I've ever prescribed. Because the mini-stroke is your brain's final mercy. It is the only warning you will ever get. And most people waste it. Don't be most people. From fear to power. Take a deep breath. I know everything I just told you is heavy. I know your heart is probably racing right now. I know you might be thinking about your father, your mother, your spouse, your own body. That's okay. That fear you're feeling, that is the most valuable emotion you've felt all year. Because that fear, right now, is the thing that will save your life. Or theirs. Let's take everything we've learned today and lock it into your memory forever. Number 5, hiccups that won't stop. Especially in women, especially without reason. Your brainstem is whispering. Number 4, crushing unexplained exhaustion. Not normal tiredness. The kind that hits you out of nowhere. Your brain is suffocating. Number 3. A face in the mirror that has quietly shifted. A drooping smile in a photo. A sleepy eyelid that never used to be there. Your facial nerve is failing. Number 2. A curtain of darkness over one eye, lasting only seconds. A dress rehearsal for catastrophe. Your carotid artery is loading the clot. Number 1. The mini stroke that disappears and tricks you into thinking you're fine. The 48-hour death window. The cruelest mercy your body will ever show you. Memorize these 5. Tattoo them onto your brain. Because here's the truth no doctor ever told me in medical school, but I've learned from 20 years of standing at hospital bedsides. Your body always warns you before it betrays you. Always. And now, here is the part I want you to hold on to with both hands. You are not powerless. You are not doomed. You are not a victim waiting for the inevitable. According to the World Health Organization, 80% of strokes are completely preventable. 80%. Not by some expensive miracle drug, not by surgery, but by simple daily habits that anyone can start today. Check your blood pressure once a week. A $15 monitor at home can outperform a yearly checkup. Walk 30 minutes a day. Just 30. Your arteries are literally pleading for it. Drink water, real water, not just tea, coffee, or soda. Dehydrated blood is thick, sticky, and deadly. Cut back on salt and ultra-processed food. Your brain doesn't run on chips. Get 7 hours of sleep. Strokes love sleep-deprived brains. And please, manage your stress. Stress hormones are silent assassins of your blood vessels. Do these things, and you don't just reduce your stroke risk. You crush it. You take back control of your own life. So here's what I need you to do for me. Right now, before you click off this video. 1. Send this video to the one person in your life who needs to hear it most. Your mother, your father, your husband, your best friend, the one whose name just popped into your head as I said that. Yes, that one. Send it to them. They may never thank you, but you may have just saved their life. 2. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell, because next week I'm revealing the 3 silent symptoms of a heart attack that appear up to a month before the event, symptoms that 90% of people, especially women, completely miss. You don't want to miss it. 3. And this is the most important. In the comments below, I want you to tell me this. Which of these 5 warning signs shocked you the most? And have you, or someone you love, experienced any of them? Write your story. Read other people's stories. Because somewhere in those comments, a stranger is going to read your words tonight and run to the hospital because of them. Your one comment could be the reason someone's mother sees her grandchildren grow up. That is the power you hold, so use it. I'll see you in the next video. Stay aware, stay alert, stay alive.